U.S. officials say there is no political gamesmanship behind the decision to ask 24 Russian diplomats to leave the U.S. by September 3rd. State Department spokesman Ned Price said it's all part of the visa renewal process Russian diplomats working in the U.S. have to go through every 3 years.
The 3-year limit on visa validity for Russians, it's nothing new. When visas expire, as you might expect, these individuals are expected to leave the country or apply for an extension.
But Russian officials say the U.S. in effect is forcing the Russians out because it has, quote, tightened visa issuing procedures. The U.S. move comes shortly after Russia barred the U.S. from hiring Russian citizens and third-party citizens to work in the embassy in Moscow. That move forced the U.S. to lay off more than 180 local employees, and that, experts say, put even more pressure on the embassy.
The visa issue is very important, which is to say, Russian students, Russians who want to visit the United States, and so forth, and it works the same way here, need a visa to come to the United States. And the demands on an embassy are so high, and even a big embassy like Moscow was, that you need extra help. And that means that the US government hires local Russians after a clearance who do very important work, most often helping with visas. In a way, think of it as a step toward better cooperation.
The Kremlin's plan to stop allowing Russian citizens to work at the U.S. Embassy was announced in April. All this is part of a long-running, low-level diplomatic battle between Washington and Moscow that's been going on since the Trump administration. The back-and-forth diplomatic battle reached its peak in March 2021, when Russia's ambassador to the U.S., Anatoly Antonov, left the United States to go to Russia for a consultation. Later, the U.S. ambassador in Russia, John Sullivan, was advised to go back to Washington for guidance. Both diplomats are back at their posts, but relations between the two countries remain icy, despite a meeting between U.S. President Biden and Putin in June. Experts believe this only accentuates the difficulty in the bilateral relations.
The Kremlin is pursuing very dangerous policies that contradict our interests. And our most important measures need to be firm in stopping those policies.
Despite the diplomatic back and forth, officials in Moscow and Washington say they are committed to continued engagement on large-scale strategic issues. Daria D. Goods for VOA News, Washington.